another interesting edition of Personality Profile Show on Ghanadistricts TV. My name is Emmanuel Frimpong. Like I do always tell you, this is the only show that takes a perspective look into the lives of some prominent Ghanaian individuals who are making it right here in Ghana and elsewhere. And my guest for today is a businessman, an entrepreneur. He's the CEO of Horseman Shoes Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest for today is Mr. Tony Senaya.
Thank you for coming, Emmanuel.
So let's for the sake of time, let's get straight to our discussion. If we say Mr. Tony Senaya, who is Mr. Tony Senaya?
For some reason, being addressed or being given the title Mr. scares me. I'm Tony Senaya.
Okay.
So for the past 13 years, Tony Senaya has become synonymous with Horseman Shoes, a footwear manufacturing company started in 2010.
Okay.
And we've been making shoes, predominantly men's shoes, for the past 13 years until 2022, when we rebranded to simply Horseman, to make room or to fulfill our vision of becoming a total leather products manufacturing house. So yes, Tony Senaya works with Horseman Shoes, putting shoes on the feet of people for the past 13 years.
Okay, so before we come to the business aspect of your life, let's take a look at your early childhood or early stages of life. Who are you? Where did you start from?
So Senaya, nobody will tell you that it's a Voltarian name. I was born to the late Kofi James Senaya, who hailed from Amfoinga in the Volta region, to Faustina Deborah, my mom, who comes from Achim Abumusu in the eastern region. But I grew up in Kumasi, had my primary education at C Preparatory School, then went to Prempeh College, came to University of Ghana between 2003 to 2007, where I participated actively in student activism.
So where did you have your primary education?
C Preparatory School in Kumasi. Then Prempeh College for my secondary in Kumasi, and then I did University of Ghana for my undergrad from 2003 to 2007.
So you spent the most of your life in Kumasi?
Yes, for me Kumasi is home.
Okay, so growing up, what were some of the challenges you encountered as a child?
With the benefit of hindsight, I normally say that I think that I grew up in a privileged home because when I hear the stories of what other people went through, I'm very grateful that I didn't experience those harrowing situations. For me, what I have is pleasant memories of being a child. Going out to play football, coming home late, getting some spanking from my dad and my auntie, whom I grew up with. Going to chase rats. Rats. We go to people's farm to set fire to snooze out rats, and eventually we end up burning people's farms and coming to report you to your parents. Those are the memories that I have. And of course, my father was a farmer, too. So at a very young age, I started going to the farm. Then we saw it as a very unpleasant chore, and we didn't look forward to Saturdays when we would go to the farm. But after some time, I enjoyed it, and I realized that it became part of us, So I have a lot of farm memories, the trekking from home to the farms, the little arguments with the laborers, the fights and all that. So in all, I think that I had a very pleasant childhood.
So we'll take a look into your nuclear family, but let's take a look at your extended family. How many are you in the family?
We are 3 on my mother's side, and we are 5 on my dad's side. And
you describe that as a large family?
No, it's relatively a very small family, yes, and we are very close knitted. So we are very close, and we bond very well. And they've been very supportive of my journey when I started, especially my sister who comes after me. She was fairly old when I started, so she understood the vision that I had. And then she threw in some coins. Well, then it wasn't coins, but it was really it was really helpful. And beyond even the financial support, wherever that she worked, she made sure that she really marketed my product and bought me a lot of sales. And then I have two younger brothers who, yes, at a point in their lives have worked in the business with me before.
Okay.
So yes, my family has been very supportive of my journey.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am married with 3 kids and 3 boys that sometimes I refer to them as 3 little terrorists, but their mom disagrees because they are very troublesome. So yes, and my wife has been very supportive. He has been there for the kids whilst I run around chasing my dream and building the business. So yes, I'm married and.
Okay, so let's visit your time in primary school. I mean basic school, yeah. And did you take up any positions, or let's share memories back then in school?
Yes, I was my class prefect from primary 4 to JSS. I didn't do GHS. GHS is actually a mouthful.
Yeah.
To junior high school till I left the junior high school. So I was my class prefect from primary 4, and I was also very active in sports. You know, it was a very small school, so you can literally do whatever that you wanted to do. Yes, and I played very active role in the activities of the school, acting plays, cooking competitions, and all that.
Then I'm sure you recall some of the names of teachers who helped you become who you are today.
Oh yes.
Giving them a shout out.
For C school, when you mention C school during my time, our generation, one name that pops up is one Mr. Raphael Derry.
Okay.
You know, I think he's still there. He's now a very old man. I mean, he was the guy who he contributed a lot in our formative years. And then when you go to the JSS, our late English teacher, John Charles Flint, yeah, he put the fear of the Lord in you. I mean, he was he was a disciplinarian, you know. So he taught at Infansipim and then came to retire to Pokowari. So he has seen the hardest of all the boys at that level. So when he came to the primary school or the junior high level, we were nothing in his eyes, and he really molded us well. And he taught us the mathematics of English, you know, subject verb agreement. He will put signs to it that when you use this word, you cannot use this word. So yes, I really had great teachers. Asheshela, who now works with the Ashanti region, I think GS of Ashanti region. Yeah, so I really had some good teachers.
Have you had the time of meeting them?
Oh yes, it was a small community. It was a community school. So anytime I'm in the neighborhood, we run into each other.
Okay, so right from basic school, I know obviously you passed and in the opportunity to enter into secondary education. That's Prempeh College, right? Share the experience with us.
Yeah, so I entered Prempeh College in February 1999.
Okay.
And before I went to Prempeh College, my dad will always remind me that, look, Chief, you selected Prempeh College as your first choice. And if you don't put in the hours, you will not make it. Then he will start mentioning top schools in Kumasi, that you are competing with people from all these schools, and Prempeh College is a national school, so people will come from Accra. So if I think that I sit in a class of 47 and I am doing so well, I shouldn't deceive myself. The competition is very big.
But was there any special reason for choosing Prempeh College as your first choice?
Yes, my dad is an old boy,
okay.
and beyond that, Prempeh belongs to the creme de la creme in this country. You know, I mean, you need not to be told. So yes, I had that boyhood dream that I would also want to go to Prempeh College. My dad had the pendant in his car, Amount 4. So anytime we drive in town, you will see a lot of people hanging the pendant in their car, and it was very attractive. You know. So and also aspirational to belong to that family. So yes, I entered Prempeh College in 1999 and came out in 2001. Yes. So yes, Prempeh too. I also had some very good memories, formed some solid relationships that have stayed with me till now. One of the fondest memories will be visiting the girls' schools during weekends, going to Yasantua, going to St. Monica's all the way at Mount Pom.
Do you have a girlfriend there?
Yes, Antoine. Yes, I had a very good friend there from whom was with me at GHS as CF preparatory. So she went to Antoine.
Okay.
But beyond that, I also formed new relationships there.
Okay.
And I went to St. Monica's. I was going to St. Louis, and that place also taught me how to debate and argue because yes, you couldn't fight, but you have to make your point as forcefully as you could. So there's a lot of football argument, a lot of political argument then, and of course the academics was very, very competitive because we had something we call at the end of the term they posted results. I have forgotten the name of this. So if you don't do well for some reason, people in other schools will get to know the position that you came at, so, and especially when you are a bit popular in the girls' schools, you want to do your best so that you don't come last and then that Tonyari class. And one of the memorable events for the 3-year stay in Premier College will be inter-col, inter-colleges activities. Yes, for us it was our Christmas. It was the time that you put on your best green shirt, your best khaki shorts, and go and look for some new foods. It was the era of the designers Pereles, Saucony, K-Swiss, all white, Wallabies, So and around that time, the Form 1s, if you don't take it, because their shirts were the greenest, so if you don't manage your green shirt well, someone might pick it up and wear it to intercol because we always want to look fresh.
Okay, so let's dive into boarding life, boarding food and the rest. Share with us how did you manage?
Oh, at that time we didn't have an issue. I mean, for us, once it was there, you would have to eat to survive, so you would always have to be nice to the guy who sit at the head of the table, where we used to call it capture. So when
capture the ladle.
Yeah. When they get in first, they capture the ladle and were you in a boys' school? So yes, you have to be nice. You have to be nice. You have to be nice to them so that they don't crucify you, as we used to say, or they'll crucify or butcher, one of those terms. And always we had Gary and Milo in our chop box, and even that if you don't lock.
But before your Gary and Milo, did you ever capture a ladle? What was the situation?
No. Someone actually said on radio that I used to do that, but I don't remember. No, I never did that. Okay. I never did that. And your chop, if you don't lock your chop box well, you come back and scavengers would have ransacked your chop box. So yes, it was a good experience. Then scrubbing, laying your beds, preparing the grounds. It was a very good training grounds. At that time, we see it as a very tedious, unpleasant chore. That even if a senior sets his eyes on you, they give you the most difficult task. But in all, it is part of the preparatory stage in taking up bigger tasks in life. And as you grow, you come to realize that there are certain skills that you will have to be able to do it by yourself. Scrubbing your bathroom, laying your bed, ironing, polishing your shoes. These are little life skills that we pick from school. But nobody will tell you that we are preparing you for the future. It's just tedious tasks and tedious chores on unpleasant things to do, but it all adds up to make you a better person when you grow.
Sure. So straight you moved from Prempeh College to Legon. Share the memorable experiences with us.
So I entered the University of Ghana in September 2003.
Okay.
And for the first few weeks, it was very tedious and very, very tiring, especially with the registration. Okay. So there's a place that we call the Great Hall. I think all your registration either ended there or it started from there. And look, the queue was so frustrating. And aside whatever is happening on the registration on campus, you have to go and deal with GCB to open an account. And that was another one hell of experience. From GCB, you come to Golf House to do SNIT. So for the first month, we just spent our lives in queues. Very, very, very long queues, fighting. I came, I remember one of the experiences, I went to GCB, but I couldn't stay. So I went and came back the next day. The next day, when the queue was moving, a guy came like 2 places ahead of me, and he said that he came in the morning and left. I said, Chief, I came here yesterday. And come on, go back to the... Yeah, eventually we ended up in the same one of our classes, so we recounted. It was very heated because So nowadays when I see that the young people they jump queues, I find it very, very disrespectful, because people think that it's demeaning to be in a queue, but that is what sane people do. That's what cultured people do. Be in a queue and wait for your turn. So back to Legon. And when we entered, TEU 2 was on strike. So for about 2 to 3 weeks, we were not attending lectures. Coming to university, wanting to experience university life, how teaching is done, and TEU being on strike. So we wasted like three weeks. In the morning, you would take your bath, wander around, roam around, not knowing what to do, where to go, because we were all new until TEU resumed, and then we started lectures. And also we met another crazy reality of huge numbers in the classes. So I read sociology, philosophy, economics, and I think Russia in level 100. You can get to a lecture 13 minutes before time. You will not get a place to sit.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like that for the entire 3 years that I was in school, until people started picking the majors. And one thing that I disliked, and even sometimes when I go to church I see it, is the pew that we sit on in the lecture rooms. The women will put their handbags on the pew
to occupy space.
I never got that, and I had a few exchanges with some of my classmates. Some also reserved seats. I never also understood that life, because I have come 30 minutes before time. Someone is taking all the time to walk from wherever they are coming from, come maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes afterwards to come and get a seat. It wasn't right. So most of my mates, especially the women, didn't like me for that. And once you start, it bothers a lot of people. So you also get the support, and because the confusion, and they remove their bags and whatever that they are used to hold places for people. So that was just about level 100, and it was fun. I remember my dad telling me that the university is a very big place. Beyond the academics, explore and have other experiences, and I did just that. So in my 3rd year, I ran for the position of hall presidency, and I won Mensa Sabah Hall. And then in my final year, I got the opportunity to act as SRC president, because election wasn't successful, and per the constitution they had to select from amongst the hall presidents one of us to become the SRC president, and the lot fell on me. So my university years was also very eventful and very, very memorable.
I'm very much sure you heard the story of Vandals before you joined the University of Ghana. Share with us the experience in your hall, Mensa Sabah Hall, and that of Vandals. Okay, so when choosing the halls of residence on my form, I selected Commonwealth Hall. Okay. But during our time, the university changed the policy that they randomly selected the halls for the students, and I think that it was one of the best things the university did. Putting me in. Why would you say so?
Commonwealth Hall, with the greatest of respect, please don't come after me and don't stop patronizing my shoes. Man, they are so rowdy, they are so
that's a disclaimer.
They are so rowdy, they are so loud. And honestly, if I hadn't become the SRC president, I'm not sure I would have ever gone to Commonwealth Hall. Okay. But once you get to that seat, you need to work with people. You need their support. They are vociferous. They have the numbers. So for demonstrations, you have to go up there to talk to them. But I have some scars here that I got from Sabah Commonwealth Hall football match. That game didn't end. Sabah was leading. Then eventually, when the game was getting to the end, they were pushing onto the field. So it was a spectator who headed the ball into the net. A spectator who headed the ball into the net, and the referee said, "No, we will not accept this." So we started exchanging stones. So I was holding the drums for Saba, what we call the conga. So they wanted to snatch it. I said, oh, it's not here. So I did not allow it. So I got some bruises. And guess what? It was I think it was a Thursday. Sunday, I go to church, Pax Romana, and the guy sitting by me, occasionally still glances at me. Then I reminded him, you did try Kai me here. You want to remember? I was the one that you said you will kill him on the field. He was a Commonwealth boy. So I reminded her, yes, we met on Thursday at the school field. Saba Commonwealth. You said you will kill me. Today we are sitting in church together. You know? So yes, Commonwealth boys, they are too rowdy. They are too rowdy. You know, so yes, and I think that at every stage in life, there are lessons, there are things that happen that shape our life. So yes, I have enjoyed every stage of the journey.
Okay, so on this note, we take a quick commercial break. When we return, we will look at his life after education. So please stay, don't go away.
Are you worried about how to get to all the assemblies, contact of MMDCs or assembly members and other assembly officials, or lodging of complaints among others? Simply call the toll-free number on all networks and you'll be provided with excellent services. And hey, remember, it's a free call on all networks.
You're welcome back to the show, and I'm here with the CEO of Horseman Shoes. So you're welcome once again.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Okay, so we're discussing about your life in the tertiary institution, that's University of Ghana, Legon. Let's move to your work aspect, your business aspect. What do you do?
I make shoes. So I run a leather product manufacturing company.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so tell us everything about Horseman Shoes. If you say Horseman Shoes, what is Horseman Shoes?
So Horseman started in 2010.
Okay.
Actually, it started before 2010, but it was officially registered in 2010. So I started Horseman by buying and selling from a shoe manufacturer at La Paz.
Okay.
At that time, I was doing my national service. After work, I'll go and sit with him, have conversations with him, help him out, pick tools for him.
Okay.
Then he made a pair for me. I took it to work. My colleagues liked it. I said, okay. Some started ordering. Those who knew where I lived will come to my house and talk to the man and order. And then I had a friend who worked elsewhere who bought a pair, took it to work, and his friends liked it. So they started calling me. That's Charlie, I hear you know a man who makes some cool shoes. I want one. Mm-hmm. So it dawned on me. I had the idea that if these young guys who are being paid well will prefer made in Ghana shoes, then there's an opportunity. It didn't really matter to them where the shoes were coming from, if it was of top quality. This is 2009 thereabouts, you know. So I spoke to my dad in Kumasi and I said, Jack, this is what I want to do. I have found an opportunity and I think that I want to give it a shot. So he also introduced me to a shoemaker in Kumasi who lived in the neighborhood. Okay. I went to Kumasi, spoke to him, did some few trials. It worked, but the only challenge was it delayed. So I asked him why it delayed so much. Then he said he didn't have all the equipment and tools. Mm-hmm. So he had to go to town to go to other shops to finish off the job. So I asked him to give me a list of things that we would need if we want to produce under one shelter. So he gave me the list. I went to Kumasi magazine to do window shopping, ask for prices. They're very basic and very fundamental machinery that I needed. So I put resources together for my dad and my sister, and I assembled the guys. And 2010, Horseman was birthed.
Well, so Horseman is becoming a household name. How did you achieve that feat?
Being around for the past 13 years, research will tell you that businesses fail, or startups fail, between the third and the fifth year. Okay. So when we crossed that barrier, mm-hmm. we were not going to look back, you know. And most people, just like me, go into business without any knowledge in business. We just follow our passion. But along the line, when you realize that you are in to stay, then you have to get the necessary help. You have to get the necessary skill of staying and running in business. So over the past 5 years, I think that yes, we've been trying to do the right things. one, we are selling the product, so we really invested in the quality of the product. I took feedback very seriously. I had no background in shoes, I had no background in designing, so I would just pick internet designs. I would ask customers to send me designs. So when I deliver and they give me the feedback, regardless of how the feedback comes, I take it and I take the value in it and go and work on it. So I remember when we started the shoes, we didn't add soft padding, so inside were very hard. So one customer told me, actually, the shoe inside hard. I went to a boutique to see. I realized that they had a soft padding, so I went back to my guys. Customers are complaining. Then obviously it will add up another cost. I said, no problem, they will pay. Then we added the soft padding. I started researching into shoes. So yes, it was feedback and making sure that we give the customer a very good product for value for his money, because at a point our customers are customers who can buy shoes from any part of the world. Now because of competition, you sit here, you order shoes from Amazon, AliExpress, and they are delivered to your doorstep. So we realized that there was nothing like a Ghanaian standard or African standard. We only had one standard, world-class standard. So we strive each and every time we go to production to meet that standard, to make the customer come back again. And I also think that I was very fortunate to have human resource in terms of help. So I had friends who had various skill sets in accounting, in marketing, in HR. So anytime I had challenges, I fell on them for them to help me to fix whatever the challenge that I was facing was. So yes, I have also leveraged on my relationships, my network, to make this business grow. So it's a basket of a lot of things to make sure that I stay in business for them.
So like you said, you were just producing one or two guys assisting you. How would you say how far have you grown so far?
How far have you grown? Within the bounds of modesty, I think that we have done a lot. See, it started from selling to my friends.
Okay.
Now I don't even know my customers. I remember I was in a queue at airport to buy kuku around the association, and there was a guy ahead of me. So when I looked at his feet, he was wearing my shoes. So this guy even doesn't know me. I made the shoes he was wearing, and for me it's joy. It's joy that you've been able to build something that has grown beyond your immediate circle where you started from. I meet people in town all the time. When I introduce myself, I'm wearing your shoe, then they will give you history. A man came here last week that he's been with us since 2014.
Wow.
I have never met him. I have never seen him before. So it gives me joy that you've created something out of nothing, and now it has gone beyond you. You are not accountable to yourself again. You are accountable to a lot of people. It also gives me joy that the people that I work with, having seen where we came from, now they're able to take care of themselves, even though it may not be at the level which they hope, but we are getting there. So the joy and the pride of creating employment for other people, the team has expanded. I have a lot of people that I do indirect business with, people that I used to go to
I understand you started with just 10 people.
No, I started with two. Yeah, myself and in fact one, and then he brought one guy. That is the guys who manufacture the shoes.
So your staff strength now?
We work directly and indirectly with about 16 people.
16 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, So yes, there are people that I went to for free service. Now when I go to them, I am able to pay for their service, not commercial rate though, but I also appreciate.
So from yourself to 16 people.
Yes, I also appreciate the skill that they have used to help me build a business.
Okay. Yeah. So you received a free endorsement from former President John Mahama in 2014. Would you describe that as one of the leverages that helped you become what you are today?
Hey, that endorsement was huge. So yes, I told you about the man who said he has been with me for the past 10 years. He came here because he had the endorsement.
Okay.
Yeah. So around that period, even truck drivers, when they drive in front of the shop and they see the shop, they park and come. I'm passing now, me Schumann president. No. Man, I was amazed. About three people on different occasions, you know.
So you would want to say that President John Mahama wears Horseman shoes?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
He does. And apart from him, there are other also very influential people who wear Horseman shoes. And so the endorsement...
What of the current president?
No.
You don't have any idea? Okay.
So the endorsement was massive. I have asked brand experts, marketers, if they were managing the president, how much value, how much money they will put on that endorsement, and nobody has been able to give a figure. So it was priceless. It was very invaluable exposure that he gave us, and beyond the exposure, it also gives you some sort of credibility. I have had people coming to Ghana looking for businesses to work with, and when they come to me, they don't do much of a due diligence, because they say that when you look at the web, the president wore my shoe, so it's straight up. It's push you up there in terms of credibility and the person to do business with. So yes, we are forever grateful. And majority of the people, when you ask them how they hear about Horseman shoes, isn't you the guys who did shoes for the president? You know. So yes, it has really sunk deep in the minds of people.
Are you thinking of doing exports?
Yes, we do that on a small scale, but the challenge, you have to fix production, because I believe that if you take care of the local market well, the international market will take care of itself. Our dream is that at least every young professional in Ghana would have at least one pair on their shoe rack, one pair of Horseman shoes on their shoe rack, and we are working towards that.
But have you covered all 16 regions in Ghana?
Oh, not yet.
And
not
what
yet.
was the dream?
Well, we sell, we deliver nationwide, but we have presence here in Accra mostly. But because of the power of online and our e-commerce, we deliver shoes to as far as my shop manager was fascinated when an order came from Sankore. She was asking where if it is Sankore even in Ghana. So yes. So we do Takrade, Kumasi, Bolga, I mean all manner of cities that I know by name, but sometimes I even wonder, so who Krachini? So I'm sorry, Krachini ben a Wukruma or top Horseman, you know. So yeah, so we work with VIP, STC, all the transport stations. So we go to Suhumechi, Kufuridia, all the environs. Yeah.
So let's compare your prices to that of other brands in the market. Would you say yours is?
We are very, very competitive. People walking here. In fact, we have had customers. One of their reviews is that our shoes don't deserve the prices that we quote, because these guys are well traveled. They've seen a lot of brands and the quality they offer versus ours at the price that we sell them. We sell between 300 to 600, and if in dollar terms, that's 600 being our most expensive shoe, is like 60 or 50 something dollars, which is very, very competitive to the top brands that people wear. People come here with foreign shoes for it to be fixed. I tell them that you didn't buy the shoe, you bought the name. You didn't buy the shoe, you bought the name. So yes, our prices are reasonable, very, 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 very reasonable. The customer says ours is an affordable luxury, you know.
And how would you describe the business environment in Ghana?
Tough, draconian. Look, I mean, it's tough. You don't even need a business practitioner to tell you that doing business in Ghana is very difficult. Sometimes, and especially if you want to do the right thing, then you are being punished. Everything is difficult, right from the taxes, chief. We are supposed to charge 21% VAT. So imagine your production cost. Even production cost is 200 cedis. Slapping 21% on it plus your margin, then you are looking at like 700 or 800 cedis for a pair of shoe. And apart from that, the district assembly is harassing you. The district assembly is harassing you. They come here, and I think that we are supposed to work as partners, you know. Some years ago, I wasn't here, and they came that they wanted to inspect if we've paid. So I wasn't here, and they said that if you don't produce the receipt, they were going to lock it. So I spoke to them on the phone. So how would you lock it? Are you going to drag the people out and lock it, or what? have told you that I'm not here. Let me wait till I come on Friday. And we don't default those things. But when you come, don't come with that pomposity and arrogance that I have the power to cripple your business. And for me, that posture really, really saddens me. If a person in position, a person in authority thinks that because of the power they have, they can do anything adverse to you to cripple your business, and they see that with a lot of pride and pride, I don't get it. So doing business in Ghana is extremely difficult. I will not lie to you. I mean, anybody who is in business will tell you the same thing. Apart from that, then you have workers' attitude. That's another basket case that will take a whole day to discuss.
We'll come there. So obviously your shoes are manufactured right here in Ghana. Where do you acquire your raw materials?
We buy them from importers who import them from Europe. We are in Kumasi because that's where Kwame Nkrumah situated the shoe factory, and by virtue of that, it has become the hub of shoemaking. So we have a lot of skilled labor, a lot of big raw material suppliers in Kumasi. So yes, we have some good relationship with those guys. So when they bring them in, they call us that they brought some fresh goods. We go to see and make a selection. Yes, and then we also import some accessories from Asia.
My last question: what is the trick in making Ghanaians develop the taste for made in Ghana products?
Like I have said, yes, we came at a point where the perception that made in Ghana is of inferior quality, and as a result, we decided to prove people wrong. So we, like, right from day one, we invested in quality. So yes, quality, we shouldn't compromise on quality. Then that wave, that consciousness that we should patronize made in Ghana product also came along. But my philosophy was that for the mere fact that we are asking people to buy made in Ghana doesn't necessarily mean that we should just give them anything. We should give them value for money. So when I even meet my other made in Ghana manufacturers, we have that conversation that, look, it's good that Ghanaians are becoming awakened to the fact that they have to support their own businesses. Regardless, we have to give them the best.
But do you think you're making any headways with what you're talking about?
Well, it will take time. You see, it will take time in terms of even building capacity of businesses.
Okay.
You meet people who are so excited about the shoes. Why don't we ban importation of shoes? But I tell them we don't have the capacity. So let's first of all build the capacity of Ghanaian businesses in terms of production, service delivery. I mean, all the matrices that will make a business a world-class business. Until then, everything we will do will be fragmented, like tabletop approach. But it's still encouraging that we have become conscious of patronizing made in Ghana product, even in food. CTFM led the campaign of Ghanaian produced rice and all that. But the most important thing is that there should be a deliberateness in building the capacity of Ghanaian businesses. Then we can look at the quantum of imported products that we bring in Ghana.
So let's look at your first gig.
The first gig was 2010 when I did school business.
School business.
Yeah, school sandals.
Sandals,
yes. On paper, it looked very, very good. I mean, you were supplying.
My reality.
We did about almost 10,000 school sandals for a lot of schools. But what I didn't know was that schools took time in paying. Yes, I didn't know that. I had taken money from friends.
Wow.
Yes, I had taken money from friends that Charlie made school contract, and I'm doing 3,000 for this school. So you did the maths, and even if you were earning 2 CDs on each, it was good money.
Good.
Yeah. And so I supplied around August, September. That's when they resumed. At a point, even more schools called, but I told them that they didn't confirm early. Our hands were full. We would disappoint them. So let me focus on the few that I had gotten. So I supplied the schools. One of the biggest buyers was in Cape Coast. So midstream, I said, Chief, pay me some, let me go and complete. Let me go and complete the order. Next week. It took about 6 months for him to pay, and by that time, all my profit, my calculated profit or presumed profit had turned into interest. So 2010 December, my phone was ringing because I owed a lot of I was owing suppliers, I was owing people that I had taken money from. Anytime my phone rang, my maker said, hey, because the pressure was massive. The only time, and I made sure I also answered all the calls to explain to them. So some of my friends also understood. So some even stopped calculating the interest.
But did that discourage you from the business?
Oh no, it didn't.
Okay.
I mean, if you have your fingers bent, then you pick the lessons from it. But I put the school business on hold for a very long while until, unless the school commissions me to do sandals for them, then But then again, it also taught me the lesson of whatever contract that you are going to have the agreement first. Sit and have a conversation, terms of payment, terms of delivery, and all that. I didn't know all that. I had just started in August. In fact, that's what I started with in August when I opened my small workshop in Kumasi. Yes, just to produce school sandals. I stretched the guys. Look, 24 hours they were working, but payment didn't come on time. So 2010.
But eventually you got your money.
Oh yes, I got my money, but then it has lost its value. It has lost its value. But it's all good. I mean, it's all part of the journey. It's all part of the learnings,
So did you also receive feedback from the sandals you produce for the schools? Feedback.
I went to a school here in Accra. I didn't meet the headmistress. I just left my letter in my catalog.
Okay.
So when she came, she called me. And when I met her, I took physical samples.
Okay.
And then she showed me that there's a sack behind her desk full of sandals. But my prices were higher than what she had in her office. But eventually, she asked that she would buy from us because of the quality that we offered. So our quality was great. And through that headmistress, I think she spoke to other two headmistresses here in Accra, and they also called that, I hear you have misuse for so and so, you also want some. Yeah, so quality was good.
My very last question. Let's look at CEO staff relationship right here in Horseman shoes.
My team is here. I wish they could answer, but I think my approach is to have a very good relationship with your staff, because look, Chief, without them you don't have any work to do. In as much as we have a good relationship, I also make sure that we draw the line. And I learned that from one of my bosses at where I did my national service. I was selling beer, but Stephen Amwakon will travel with you, say all the silly stuff, you sit and drink. Monday, when you meet him for reporting time, no jokes. Like he has never. You guys are not friends, So I learned that from him. The balance, yes, play, be open, teach them, but also draw the line that look, we have to do what we have to do. So yes, I am very, very open with my workers here, and even the guys in Kumasi who do the. When you meet me in the workshop, you would not be able to tell that I am the CEO. We argue from football to politics to religion to everything. I eat with them. I go to the market to shop with them. I carry stuff and all that. Yeah. And sometimes when we have big events in Accra, I bring them in to also have the experience, to see the people that we sell to, so that when we give them feedback, that really helped them. So I mean, these artisans have their own way of doing things. You see a scratch, or we do be Chief, will be one coming. So when I used to have big activations, I'll bring them in to come and see that. You see nice Emmanuel here. This guy can buy shoes from anywhere, but he has decided to buy Horseman shoes, so let's give him the best. So as I try to bring them close, expose them to other things that they don't know, in a very good way, so that they have a full 360 appreciation of not just business but life in general.
Your very last words.
My very last words. I always tell people that they shouldn't be afraid to fail. I think that there are some opportunities that I missed because I thought I was being too careful. I thought that the time wasn't right. But actually there is no right time, especially when it comes to taking risk and adventuring, being adventurous. So whatever idea that you have, there wouldn't be any better time to try it. The time is now. We'll try now and far. Come back again and try and learn from it and try. So never be afraid to fail and dare to take risk. That is what I would tell my younger self. If I was starting all over again, I'll be very, very, very daring and very adventurous in taking risk.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much. This is where we wrap up on this edition of Personality Profile Show on Ghanadistricts TV. Join me on subsequent editions. My name is Emmanuel Frimpong. Thanks for watching.